This is Political Psychology, and I'm your professor, Dr. Patrick Stewart. In this lesson, the one thing that we can be certain of is that humans are social creatures. More so than any other social mammal, humans create their social and physical environments. This is due to the cognitive capacity that gives humans the ability to act together in large numbers, not only through extended social networks, but also through the hierarchical organization of these networks into social structures that allows for high levels of coordination and with it, specialization. In essence, humans create their own environmental niches. The social brain hypothesis provides insights into why we humans are different from other animals. At the same time, it provides us with a starting point for understanding how social organization, and with it, followership and leadership, occurs. Archaeological research suggests that the roots of humanity's extreme sociality is based upon fire, tools, and laughter. While fire for cooking and tools for creating are well worth further inquiry, we focus on laughter. Laughter not only provides an entry point for human sociality, its scaling properties may offer information concerning the most primal of voting activities, observable audience response. The first and most basic question of human politics is not necessarily who gets what, when, where, and how, but why do we join groups and follow leaders in the first place? The most obvious answer, from an evolutionary viewpoint, is that individuals and groups with competent leaders tend to out-reproduce those not living in groups or living in weaker, less functional groups. This is because competent leaders can organize such things as common defense, maintain group harmony, and provide greater amounts of resources. The former two activities lead to preference for more dominant leaders, whereas leaders who excel at an activity reducing uncertainty as to how to accomplish tasks and as a result are emulated become more prestigious. By reducing trial and error for the entire group, competent leaders who have earned prestige from followers receive greater benefits, even in societies that are highly egalitarian. In other words, leaders reduce the amount of cognitive effort that is needed, either in terms of common defense or in production. Having a quick heuristic such as the leader's behavior or their communication of behavioral intent allows for more time to be spent on other tasks that enhance an individual's survival. On the other hand, the option of having no leaders or bad leaders can be deadly for a group. The first question we deal with is, when do leaders come into a group? The question is perhaps most difficult, as leaderships can be a transient state based upon tasks within a group. We know for certain that interpersonal connections are tied to social grooming. However, physical grooming alone limits the numbers of individuals a person can interact with. With fingertip grooming, there are only so many people one can reach out and touch. Language, and with it increased brain capacity, has led to larger social networks can move beyond the one-to-one connections. With these larger networks has come enhanced security and reproductive success for the individuals living in larger groups. What we find is that there are multiple layers of social grouping based upon intimacy of relationships. What makes these groupings fascinating is how they work in fissioning apart and fusing back together again as individuals move into larger organizations. It does so with a ratio of close to 3. While there is no definitive explanation for this, these layers and sizes of organization likely emerge due to individual limits on personal relationships and the cognitive capacity to keep track of them. The support group refers to the 3 to 5 closest intimates that a person has, and are typically comprised of immediate family members and best friends who provide emotional and behavioral support. These are the people an individual would seek advice, support, or help from in times of severe or financial crisis. The members of a sympathy group are those 15 to 20 best friends upon which one can rely upon to reciprocate support. They do so by being social friends and allies who will protect an individual against harassment from others and if one has children, provides some forms of childcare. If anyone in this group dies, it is likely that their death would leave an individual personally devastated. The active network refers to as 45 to 50 good friends that one interacts with on a regular basis. In other words, around once a week, as well as those relatives that individuals have social ties with. These are the people that are interacted with on a regular enough basis to know them, but not necessarily be emotionally invested in. Finally, the personal network are those roughly 150 individuals we can put names to and try to maintain a relatively active social relationship with. This Dunbar's number of 150 occurs when we have individual ties that are kept constant through contact more than once a year, and there is a genuine personal relationship.